As Katie recovered from being manhandled, Logan was letting his fists fly. Everyone in the club began to gasp and scream, and members of the Bobcats quickly flew in to separate the two. Fights like this were normal on the ice, but outside the rink, they had the potential to be career-ending. Adrian managed to pull Logan off the guy, blood still in his eyes. Whoa, calm down, Logan. Take a second, buddy. Breathe. Logan had automatically gone into beast mode when he saw the creepy drunk guy's hand find the curve of Katie's butt. It was half hubris and half hard liquor that had sent him flying at the guy. Either way, Katie felt both protected and horribly guilty. She ran to Logan, tenderly touching a bruise forming under his left eye. "Logan, are you okay? Can you see?" He got onto his feet. "I'm fine. It's nothing. Are you okay? That's all I care about." Katie could feel him wobbling on his left leg, and she worried some of the other teammates might catch on. She felt a duty to protect his secret, just like he had protected her honor tonight. "Let me drive you home, Logan." He tried to shove past her. "I'll manage. You really need both eyes to drive?" Katie grabbed him, putting an arm over his shoulder. Yeah, I'd say so. Come on." The club owner came hustling over. "What the hell is all this? Look at the broken glassware. You're lucky there aren't cameras in here." Flustered, Katie tried to apologize. "I'm so sorry. The guy started to touch me. Her boss loomed over her. "I don't care. This is unacceptable. I can't even look at you right now. Get him out of here." Katie stood frozen as he padded off toward the club's entrance, locking it shut. Adrian approached them, concerned. "Listen, we can clean this up for you, okay, Katie? Sorry if we got you in trouble. Thanks for taking care of my boy." Katie smiled softly. In truth, she would have done anything to get off this shift early, but having Logan's arm around her felt like an added bonus. "No problem." She directed Logan toward the back door. "Come on, my car's out here." They stumbled together toward Katie's beat-up, trusty Honda Civic. Katie popped the passenger side and piled Logan into the seat. He sank into the microfiber inside. "It's funny. You're driving the same little beater car, but everything else about you is different. We made a lot of memories in here, but I guess that doesn't matter now." Katie felt a pang of pain in her heart. She pulled the seatbelt over Logan's chest and gave her Civic a pump of gas as she turned the key in the ignition. "Close your eyes. We'll be back at your place soon." Meanwhile, arriving at her father's giant Gilded-era mansion, Bianca DuPont strode across the marble floor with a vengeance. "Daddy?" She opened every single mahogany door in the hallway, looking for him until she found a stately man with a striking white crop of hair. "Daddy, there you are." Magnus DuPont turned away from a giant setup of computer monitors to face his daughter. "Bianca, my little princess." Bianca scowled, her arms folded. "Things are not going my way, Daddy." He stood up, taking one last glance at the ticking prices on the screen. "Strange. I feel like I bought you every possible thing you wanted. Your boyfriend's career, a penthouse, a private car service. What seems to be the problem?" Bianca leaned over her father, an unhinged look in her eye. "It's the Bobcats. They've been using this new PT, and I think she's mentally unfit." Magnus curled his white mustache. "Is that so?" Bianca huffed, straightening up. "I'm trying to save you some stress, Daddy. She might seriously injure us. She's a danger to the team and your bottom line." Magnus sat at his desk and looked over his daughter, suspicious. "Why are you really so interested in a physical therapist?" Magnus waited for Bianca to falter. She pursed her lips bitterly. "Fine. This Katie has been making house calls to Logan. He always acts like he's been clubbed over the head when she leaves. I think something's up between them. Magnus clicked his tongue. Oh, honey, Logan's a bit of an expensive toy, don't you think? Isn't it time to cut him loose? Bianca sputtered, jumping to Logan's defense. He's my soon-to-be husband and your future son-in-law. Magnus shrugged. And if his parents didn't pull half the strings in the great state of Pennsylvania, then I wouldn't let that happen, but here we are. I've made a sizable investment in him, don't you think? Wasn't $13 million the largest contract on record for the Chestertown Bobcats enough of a pledge of faith for you? Bianca folded her arms. She hated it when he bludgeoned her with numbers. 13 mil was a drop in the bucket for him. Sure. Magnus, though, counted every penny. Now, after prying him from the Grey Wolves, he ends up having some kind of affair. With a physical therapist, no less. Why do you care about this guy, sweetie? Or is this one of your jealous delusions? Bianca huffed and turned her nose up. Sure, growing up with the royal treatment had inflated her ego just a bit, and she did tend to believe that a woman as precious as her should never ever have to fight for attention from her man. There was something up with that Katie girl, something that Bianca couldn't place, even if she only found 2 pre-collegiate photos of them together. I've been talking to Katie's sister to confirm. I know there's something going on, and if you love me as much as you say you do, Daddy, then you'll look into whatever's going on with her involvement in the Bobcats. I've heard she doesn't wash her hands. Magnus sat back at his 12-screen investing terminal. Okay, sweetie, but only because you seem especially piqued. And you know that's bad for you. Stress gives you wrinkles. Bianca smiled from ear to ear. I'll schedule myself for a laser facial. You're the best. As Bianca skipped off to the spa, Logan and Katie arrived at his penthouse garage. Despite drinking electrolytes throughout the car ride, Logan was still slightly drunk. Katie parked the car in a free spot, then hurried over to the other side and lent Logan a hand. As his strong, muscular fingers clasped around her waist, her heart skipped a beat. Even after all the trouble he had put her through this afternoon, she still swooned at his touch. Come on, let's get you inside. Logan stared into her eyes and admired her, his drunkenness cutting away at his usual cool demeanor. You know, you shouldn't have to deal with guys hitting on you like that. As they stumbled toward the elevator leading to the penthouse, Katie smiled. I always felt protected by you. She hit the button on the elevator, and the doors opened and they shuffled in. Katie couldn't help but laugh. Do you remember that time you had that meet in Easton? We went out to celebrate after the game for a beer, and some guys ran up on us and tried to snag my pendant. Logan chuckled. Oh, I remember. I took the 3 of them on single-handedly, and then my hand hurt like a bitch for 2 weeks. She peered over at him, her eyes suddenly wet. You stopped it from being stolen, and you saved us. It's part of the reason I take such pride in wearing it, because it reminds me of how special and safe you always made me feel. As the doors opened to Logan's penthouse, Katie propped Logan up and took a step inside. Come on. But before they could get past the entrance, Logan's fingers traced Katie's collarbone and found the pendant lying on her heart. It was warm in his hand, absorbing all the heat from her body. He could feel the memories rushing back from that night. How Katie brought him back to the motel they were crashing in, patched him up, then made love to him under the dappled moonlight. He could feel himself under her spell again. All it took was one look. Logan, what's going on? Before Katie could say more, Logan grabbed her by the wrists and pinned her up against the wall. For a moment he hesitated, his hot breath on her neck. Katie could feel her nerves melting away into something hot and electric. Her back arched against her torso. When I see it on you, I can't help myself. He laid a pat of hungry kisses down her neck, tracing the path from her ear to her collarbone. Katie couldn't tell if he was trying to kiss her or devour her, and it was driving her mad. I can never help myself with you. I've always gotten carried away. I always needed to protect you. As Katie could feel desire radiating from inside her body, the words "protect you" reverberated in her mind. And suddenly she could see Margot's menacing eyes glowing, standing over her, ready to strike. She instinctively pulled away from Logan, trying to make her way to the elevator. Logan sighed. "What are you doing? You're ready to toy with me again, aren't you?" Katie took a deep breath and faced him. His expression was wrought with a deep sadness. It wasn't just the drinking. There was a well of disappointment within Logan, one that had dug deeper and deeper since the day she left. "No matter how badly I want you or need you, you seem to want nothing to do with me." Katie wanted to scream. She wanted to tell him he was wrong, that it was exactly the opposite. Couldn't he feel the flutter in her chest, the longing on her skin? But confessing would mean risking everything, including Tommy's life. That's not what's going on here. Suddenly, a wave of recognition swept over Logan's face, and his expression turned sinister. "I know what's going on. You're thinking of something else. Someone else. That man that you rushed off to last time, Noah, right? Who is he?" Katie stood silent, not wanting to look him in the eye. But then Logan pushed harder. "Who is he?" Katie wanted to end Logan's pain. She wanted to tell him the truth, but there was no way to explain. "Noah is my husband."